Next is the low bear position, and we will go into a progression of that with a single leg raise. So we're going to start out quadruped position on all fours, our knees just about hip width apart, up on our toes in the back, dorsiflexed in our ankles, and we're going to pick our knees up about an inch, 2 inches off the ground and hold. Back nice and straight. We're not trying to round our back. We want to be mindful of our posture, and we'll lift one leg. And we're going to go ahead and switch legs. Bring the foot down, back down, set your posture. Low bears to a single leg variation. All right, we're going to do the supine with legs raised, single leg lower. Legs up nice and straight, stabilizing into your core. Keep toes back, lower one leg down, tap the heel, and back up. Switching legs, lower, tap your heel. Next, we're going to do a modified side plank with a hip hinge move. So we'll start out in a modified side plank here, hand on our hips, and we're going to lift our hip up and hinge forward on that front knee. Back down. Nice strong shoulder position, not trying to shrug with our shoulders. Again, we're going to push our hip up and hip hinge forward, trying to get nice and straight down through our body. Lift your arm. Back down. And to the other side. Again, we're in our side plank, modified position. And we're going to lift our hips, hip hinge forward. Arm up straight. And back down. Again, one more time, the modified side plank. And we'll lift, hip hinge up. Reach. Make sure we're staying nice and protracted here. We don't want to be down in this position. Nice, strong, and up. Back down. Our next move here is going from a kneeling position into a half kneeling, high kneeling position. So we'll start out in our kneeling position. We're going to push ourselves up. Again, when we're pushing ourselves up, we're not looking to lean forward. We want to push straight up, and we're going to bring one knee forward, nice and straight in line, and lean forward slightly, trying to keep our hips forward. We don't want to be rotating either direction into this stretch. Hips coming forward, and we're going to come back. Again, our legs should come straight back, our foot straight back behind us, and back into a kneeling position, and up, and we'll switch sides, bring it forward, nice and smooth. Stretch into that, really stretch out that hip flexor in the back there. We're going to come back, and again, we're trying to stay nice and straight in alignment here. If you feel like your legs are coming out to the side, like you have to do this to get yourself out to the side, we could put some blocks on the side here, a couple foam rollers to keep us in line as we do these. Our next hip mobility exercise here, we're going to start in a kneeling position. Our knees are just a little bit wider than our hips. Our feet are nice in line with our knees. We don't want them to be coming back and coming together in the back. We want our feet a little bit wider. We're going to sit up nice and tall. I'm going to go to the right first. We're going to rotate off of our big toe. Again, this is a half kneeling to a hip opener. So I'm going to shift to the left. I'm rotating on that right big toe, and I'm going to lean into that stretch. Really stretching out the inside of our hips here, and real nice groin stretch. And again, we're going to go to the left, rotating off that big toe on the left side, rotate off the toe, and open up, lean into that stretch. Nice and upright with our back. We don't want to be leaning out of this stretch. We want to be nice and upright. This next one is the seated half cross leg hip opener. Basically what we're going to do, we're going to start out here in a half cross leg position. This leg isn't out behind you, a little sharper than 90 degrees. We're going to sit up nice and tall. This is our first progression here. We're just going to let our hips open, getting to where we can be in an upright position with our posture. Next, we're gonna go ahead and bring our hands forward again. We're looking to try and stay nice and straight here. As we can rest into this position, we're gonna push ourselves up, switch our legs, and back down. Again, trying to find that nice upright position here, nice upright posture. Adjust your feet as needed. Find that center. We're gonna come straight forward with our hands. And we're gonna push up, switch those feet, and back down. Our next progression for this will be to bring ourselves up to a kneeling position and back down. Again, trying to maintain nice upright posture through these movements. Up and back down. Next, we're going to go into a variation of the child's pose. This is called a 3D child's pose because we're going to move in the frontal plane, kind of through all of our planes of movement here. So we're going to start out in the child's pose. We're going to get our knees a little bit wider than our hips. Our feet come together in the back. So we're forming a V here with our lower body. We're going to reach forward into the child's pose, trying to keep our back nice and straight. We don't want to be rounding out. Nice breaths, deep breaths, settle into it. We're going to bring our left elbow down to our left knee and reach across with our right hand. We're going to come back to the right, bring our right elbow to our right knee, and reach around with our left hand. And end in child's pose. You can then, if you choose, go forward into up dog. Pull your shoulders back, let your chest open up. And end in child's pose. This next one is a side-lying arm raise up and over. We're gonna open the gate here. So we're gonna start in a side-lying, basically dead bug position. Our knees are gonna be at 90. We're gonna keep our arms out nice and straight. Now you can support your head a little bit if you want to. Put a little piece of foam or something, or a foam block under your head. And you can put a yoga block here in between your knees as well to keep your knees out a little more in line with your hip. We're gonna reach up, we're gonna inhale. Exhale as we reach up, reaching across, trying to keep those knees on the ground. A couple nice deep breaths in this position. And we'll switch to the other side. We want to make sure in this that the movement is coming from our thoracic spine, that we're not trying to lean over too much here and fight for this. We want this to be nice and smooth and relaxing. We're going to breathe in, inhale, and exhale, open the gate. Some nice deep breaths. Inhale. Exhale. And return. Make sure your fingertips come together at the end. We don't want to be in here halfway in that reach. Next one we're going to do is called a prone Y stretch, or prone Y reach. The prone position being on your belly, and we're going to be in the Y position with our arms. What we're going to do, we're going to lay in that Y position, and we're going to reach up and over, trying to keep one foot down on the ground as we rotate over. So we'll start out in this Y pattern, and again, we're going to lean over, we're reaching up, keeping that other foot on the ground. Couple nice deep breaths. And back, and to the other side. We're gonna reach. trying to get nice and long between your extended arm and that extended foot. And back to your